Hi everyone, I'm the Barefoot Doctor and this is the Barefoot Doctor Kitchen. I'm going to teach you how to do what I call my famous immunity detoxification soup and stew. Now I use a very special clay pot which is designed to actually cook all your food and your herbs and so forth automatically. And then of course we have all of our plate of organics, and especially it's all vegetables. And then we've got the spices, and then of course I'm going to show you how to cut it all up, put it into the soup, and then basically it'll be cooked, and then of course we're going to taste it. So I'm going to start with the pumpkin. Okay, and now we're going to get the celery. And we're just going to chop it up like so and put it to the side. And then when we get our potatoes, we also do basically the same thing. We just basically chop it up like this. You don't have to make it too small, because if you make it too small, then it's not really going to be a stew, it's going to be more like a soup. And all I do is just cut it up like this. Because when this cooks, it's going to soften and it's also going to shrink. And then of course you have your sweet potato, cut it the same way. Okay, now I'm putting in the pumpkin as well. And again, cut it into small pieces, because once you've cooked it for a while, it actually will shrink, it'll break apart, it'll become very, very soft. And don't forget, you can also put the actual pumpkin seeds in together. And yeah, we cut up the broccoli like so, and then we place that inside. And then also don't forget to use the actual stem, very important. Then we also got the onion. Same thing. You don't have to cut it too small. Then of course, your cauliflower. Place it all inside. And then what I normally do is to shrink. Like so. And then I keep on loading the last parts of the ingredients. And of course now we've got the garlic, carrots. I've still got a little bit left of beetroot. And it's very, very good for your blood to have plenty of beetroot. And of course what's very important, and I make it very importantly, I state it always in my books and I state it always in everything that I do, is that you should do everything you can in your power to have organics. And it is very important for yourself, for your body, and of course for your whole family. Now, the last part is I just cut them a little bit. I don't want to break them open too fast, because that's how they release all their really good immune system healing. There's the garlic, and now of course the ginger. And this is really amazing. And I cut it in fairly small pieces. So that way you don't get to chew it and realize that it's the ginger, as most people don't always like the taste. And then get it all together, putting it all inside. And the final part is going to be the shiitake mushrooms, which I put on top so that it's sort of steamed instead of cooking inside the actual juice and the water. So now, cut the shiitakes like so. There, of course, they're going to shrink once they get steamed up, and they'll become fairly reduced. So when I cook with these pots, I keep it just slightly below the actual lid so that it has enough space to breathe. Put them in like that on top. And then what I do is put the lid over the top so it can start steaming and start working its way through. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to put the spices and the actual herbs that make this soup and stew the most amazing thing you're going to love to have, especially when you're doing my detoxification and my weight loss, and especially when you have cold nights or when you're feeling cold, your body's feeling cold. This is the most amazing stew, and you'll have the whole formula, including the list of ingredients of how to make it and what quantity you need. And we start with turmeric, and of course making sure that it's organic, and I use 1 full teaspoon of turmeric. Then I use what they call the Chinese 5-spice powder, which is made from cinnamon, cloves, fennel, star anise and Sichuan pepper. It's very, very nice. Again, I put in basically a whole teaspoon. Then I put some cardamom pod. This is what they look like. Just a spoonful. It has this great fragrance. I use also sage. Again, basically a whole. Then I've got this really nice mixed spices, which is a combination of pimento, nutmeg, ginger again with cloves and cinnamon. It's a very nice combination mixed spices. And remember, they're all organic, okay? Very important. Then I use some black pepper, which obviously acts as a great mover for your turmeric. And I only put around about, because I also have Sichuan pepper, I only put around about a little bit, just over 1/4 spoon. Because you have also ginger, you've got the garlics. Once you've done that, then you start to slowly mix it in. So it goes within the liquid and it gets all covered up. As you can see, the mushrooms have already shrunk and the soup is really cooking nicely. Breaking all up and taking all those ingredients out of the actual vegetables and everything and putting it into the water, and the actual juice of this soup is so amazing. We leave it like that and we just have to wait. It takes around about 2 to 3 hours, and it's what's wonderful about these pots is that it actually cooks it for you automatically, and when it's ready it actually goes off. So you can probably find them in many Chinese groceries or Chinese herbal places, because they also cook Chinese herbs. So we're going to leave that for now. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the water and how you drink it. Now, I've learned over the many years why the gurus use copper, and they don't just use copper to drink out of, but they also use copper to store the water. And this is my water storage, which I keep basically for 12 hours all the time inside, and it's retained in copper, where whenever I want to drink water, I drink it through copper. And that way you get your basic dose of copper that you need in your system, which most people don't realize that in most food you have, it all lacks. There is no copper in the food because it's just no more in the soil. So anyway, we're just going to wait now until it's cooked, and then we're going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, now what we're going to do is the final product. It's already finished cooking, and what I'm going to do to make it obviously taste really good is I'm going to add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt, and that is the final part of the whole soup. And then I'm going to mix that in together, and if you have a look, and as you can see, this is the end result of the soup. And now I'm going to start putting it into the actual bowls. Okay, and now I'm going to pour the liquid in. Lastly, we put a dash of coriander, and as you can see, beautiful. That is your great detoxification vegetable stew.